control here. I'm not going to let this get me down. I'm not going to let this destroy me. I'm coming back.
We all know Fury, you just a phony, man. This is just for act. You know where I am, you know what time, you know what place. I ain't scared of nobody. I'll come in your backyard, baby, for that's my man.
Listen, anytime, any place, anywhere, I'll fight you in your backyard. Like a dumb Klitschko, I'll beat you in your book. Be a book.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. This is Jeremy Sports Network coming to you live. How is everybody doing on tonight? And I hope you're having a great night, because not only did we have another wonderful night in boxing, like I said, boxing has been on a phenomenal path throughout this whole entire year. And for PBC to give us a magnificent card on tonight like they did, I mean, as a boxing fan, this is everything that you wanted. You had Adam Lopez in a great fight tonight. Justin Deloach was in a great fight tonight. I mean, every fight that was on this card was phenomenal. Now, let's get to, before we get to the Victor Ortiz fight, right? Because Victor Ortiz, he did what Victor Ortiz should have done. But before we get to that, I want to talk about the Adam Lopez fight. Adam Lopez, man, him and Ziggy Romero had a wonderful fight. Ziggy Romero was battling, and if you don't know who Paul Romero is, he's trained by Robert the Ghost Guerrero's father, and he's a great fighter. Both of the fighters were undefeated coming into this fight, and Ziggy, they both did good. Ziggy started out strong in the first round. Second round, Adam Lopez seemed to just show another level with power and with his punches. And the fact that he showed another level is what put him in a position to be successful. Now, watching this fight, the fourth round, it was just bombs away. Bombs away for Adam Lopez. He caught Romero with a vicious left hook. And you could tell Romero was getting gassed because Adam Lopez was working the body very efficiently. And throughout this fight, that is what you saw. And that's pretty much what you got. Adam Lopez dominated, which was a great fight. And then you carry that over to Justin Deloach. Man. Now, when we get to the Justin Deloach fight, that fight in particular, honestly, I had Justin Deloach winning this fight. I picked him to win this fight because I didn't know who Nathan was. And that's just being honest. I knew he was in the division. Did I think that he was a threat to Justin Deloach? Absolutely not. If anything about Nathan that I did not know, Gilmore, he's a tough kid. He trains with Adrian Granados, who fought Adrian Broner before Mikey Garcia did. They call themselves TBT, the Broke Boys, the Broke Team, matter of fact. And man, he fought just like that. And his fight game was inside the pocket. And he lured Deloach in, and Deloach fell for it, and he paid for it. Now, Justin Deloach is a great boxer. I'm not so much sure on his game as far as him fighting on the inside. And we saw tonight that it wasn't enough to defeat a fighter like Gilmore. Gilmore took the fight on the inside, and he landed big shots. I know the first shot that he dropped Deloach with, I believe it was I want to say it was a left hand, a left hook. Dropped Deloach in the first round. Deloach seemed very surprised by that. And it was a delayed knockdown for Deloach. And he battled back though. He didn't allow that to stop him. And it comes to the second round. He gets dropped again by that right hook, and the right hook dropped him again. And you thought then, okay, the fight is over. But Deloach finished that second round strong with countering and landing a beautiful shot on Gilmore. And you're thinking, okay, now we have ourselves a fight. And the third and fourth round was just that. We got that. But Deloach, he did not keep his distance away from Gilmore at all, period. He became flat-footed, and he stood there and went toe-to-toe with Deloach. And the fact that he went toe-to-toe with Deloach put himself in position to perhaps struggle. And that he did. He struggled with getting off with his jabs. He struggled with his 2-3 punch combinations. He couldn't get anything off. And the fact that he couldn't get anything off put him in a position to where, hey, it's a wrap. And it's sad that it happened that way, because Justin Deloach is a great guy. Justin Deloach, and he's a great fighter. He's a great fighter. And I was on Twitter in a live chat, and Julian J. Rock Williams posted in the live chat, and he said that FS1 is screwing up his fall plans. So obviously, Julian J. Rock Williams had in mind of a fight with Justin Deloach. Is that fight going to happen? I really don't think so, because of the simple fact that Julian J. Rock, although he did lose to Jamal Charlo before he moved up to 160, he was still the number 2 contender for the IBF. Justin Deloach was number 4. Now, where does that put him after tonight's defeat? I have no idea. But on top of that, Justin Deloach losing on tonight really lost him some big fights that could have happened earlier, well, in the fall time, put it like that. Julian J. Rock Williams would have been a really good fight for him. Now, moving on to Victor Ortiz. Victor Ortiz versus Saul Corral was a wonderful fight for Victor Ortiz, because Victor Ortiz did exactly what I felt as though Victor Ortiz was going to do. You can go back to the live chat and you will see where I said the left hand from Victor Ortiz is landing, and it is going to end the night early. And it did just that. It ended the night early, and there was nothing that Saul Corral could have done differently in this fight. I mean, Victor Ortiz was bulldogging him. Victor Ortiz was controlling the fight with the jab. He stayed composed. He did exactly what we thought Victor Ortiz was going to do. And he did what it took in order for him to be victorious. And he was very victorious on tonight. Now, the last time we did see Victor Ortiz in the ring was about 15 months ago, when he took that loss to Andre Berto. And when he took that loss to Andre Berto, Victor Ortiz's excuse was, I got away from doing what I do best. I did things in that fight that I should not have done. And he took a 15-month layoff. And throughout that 15 months that he was off, I mean, I didn't see Victor Ortiz really coming back to the sport of boxing. But you could tell he'd been in the gym. You can tell he's been working hard, because he did not show any signs of ring rust throughout this fight. He just looked like the Victor Ortiz of old. Is he going to make a comeback in the division? That is what everybody wants to know. And if you ask me, is he going to do just that? Honestly, I don't know. I have no idea, because the welterweight division right now is packed. You got guys like Errol Spence, IBF champion. You got Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, Sean Porter. I mean, the list goes on and on in the welterweight division of fighters. It goes on and on. So when you talk about Victor Ortiz making a comeback and taking over the welterweight division, I don't believe that's going to happen, because those fighters that are on top in the welterweight division, they're dominant, man. They're dominant. And not saying that Victor Ortiz is not dominant, but we have not seen Victor Ortiz be as dominant, like we would want him to be. Now, I'm not saying that he can't make a run and capture his dreams, because he said he's starting the new chapter in his life and getting back to the sport that he loved the most, and he put his all and dedicated his everything back to the sport of boxing. Who knows what he can do? Who knows? I'm never going to question the man's motivation, especially in the sport of boxing, because you have great fighters that are in the sport. But when you talk about taking over the division, you have to put some realistic things in there. And what's realistic to me is that division alone is a very tough division. It's very tough. And the fact that, Victor Ortiz had a great victory on tonight against Saul Corral, I just believe that Saul Corral was not as good of a talent that you can judge what Victor Ortiz is going to do in the welterweight division. Now, him taking that loss to Andre Berto, we seen Andre Berto against Sean Porter this year. And am I going to say Andre Berto don't have it anymore? I'm not going to say that, because Andre Berto, in that fight with Sean Porter did things in that fight that you didn't even think would happen, right? Leading with the headbutts and everything like that. Put Andre Berto in a very tough position to where he almost feels as though he's ready to retire from the sport. He's made his money. He did exactly what he was supposed to do. But when you think about it, I'm just really trying to figure out, how can I judge Victor Ortiz moving forward in his career, in his boxing career? You're really trying to figure that out. And the fact that we haven't seen him against any top quality competition outside of Andre Berto right now, with him moving forward, even though he's been on a 15-month layoff, the Saul Corral gives him great feeling in order to get back in the swing of things. But when you talk about conquering the welterweight division, that's going to be tough. That's going to be very tough. Do I believe it's going to happen? Like I said, I don't know. I can't put a hand on what it is that Victor Ortiz can do. But all I can say is, we'll see in his next fight if he gets a big name. I know tonight, the commentators tonight, great job by Robert the Ghost Guerrero, who just formally retired. But you can see the fire in his eyes, and you can tell that he don't want to be away from the sport of boxing too long. I believe he will make a comeback and have another fight on his hands. Will it be a big money fight? Absolutely not. But I do believe that Robert Guerrero will fight again, even though he just made his retirement on this year. But you had the commentators talking about Victor Ortiz getting back into a fight with Luis Collazo. They was talking about him and Collazo going at it. And Collazo posted in a live chat. Collazo was like, dude, like, they're talking about me fighting Victor Ortiz again. Like, really? And to me, that shows that if Victor Ortiz continues to win and does exactly what he's supposed to do, perhaps he could get a fight like that against Luis Collazo. Do I believe he can beat Collazo? I'm not sure. Not right now. Not right now. We have to see more from Ortiz, because we have to know that Ortiz does have a glass chin. And Saul Corral did not test his chin at all, as much as we know a guy like Luis Collazo would have done. And we know what Luis Collazo is capable of doing. So it was a great night, though. PBC, hands down, they did a wonderful job. Shouts out to Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia was in the building in Bakersfield on tonight after defeating Adrian Broner on last night, which was a great fight. That fight against Adrian Broner was an awesome fight. And shouts out to Mikey Garcia, who did his thing. And I'm just a little heartbroken right now. Not only because Adrian Broner lost on last night, and I did pick Broner to win, But Justin Deloach losing tonight, that one hurts. Because you see a kid who is from Augusta, Georgia, and he has pretty much the division in his hands. He was getting in a little trash talk with Erickson Lubin. He jumped into Erickson Lubin's tweet when Lubin said he was ready to come back to the ring. And Justin Deloach, said some things to Erickson Lubin. And so you were thinking, okay, we may be getting a big fight with Justin Deloach, Erickson Lubin, perhaps. But it didn't work out that way. We didn't get it. And we're not going to get it because of how Deloach lost to Gilmore. Nathan Gillimore, what he did to Justin Deloach sets him back in the division because it wasn't just one knockdown. It wasn't just two knockdowns. But it was the shots that he took and the way he went back to the ring and almost fell out of the ring. That was tough. It was tough seeing that. And if you're Justin Deloach, he showed a lot of heart, man. That kid has a lot of heart. You can tell he has a lot of heart and a lot of drive. But it just wasn't enough to stop a guy like Nathaniel Gillimore, who really, in all honesty, he could have outboxed him. I believe he was good enough to outbox Nathaniel Gillimore tonight. He was good enough to do it. And it just seemed as though his corner put him in a position to where they just allowed him to go toe-to-toe with this guy. And the fact that they allowed him to go toe-to-toe with this guy did not put him in the best position, because just like every young fighter, if you're a young fighter out there, because this is what we was talking about in the live chat. If you're a young fighter, you cannot throw your left hand and drop your right hand at all, period. Because every time Justin Deloach threw a shot with his left hand, he would drop the right. Every time he threw a left hook or left jab or a left cross, just go back and study the tape. Anytime he did that, he dropped his right hand, leaving himself open for his opponent to hit him with the left hook. And not only was it the left hand that he kept the right hand that he kept dropping, he did the same thing with his left hand. Anytime you throw in a punch with your right hand, you always keep your guard up with your left. But he put his hands down constantly and he paid for it. And as young fighters, this is why you're supposed to study tape. This is a reason why you study tape. It's because small things like this cannot put you in position to be victorious. When you don't work on the fundamentals like this, and if you want to look at fundamentals, a guy to look at is Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia is a great guy to look at if you're talking about fundamentals in the sport. But what you seen tonight from Justin Deloach was the lack of fundamentals, the basic fundamentals. And that's what hurt him, the basic fundamentals, and the fact that he allowed shots to hit him that was not supposed to hit him. To me, I just don't feel as though it was as good as I wanted it to be. And that's no knock on Nathan Gillimore, because he did exactly what he was supposed to do. But if you're Justin Deloach, do you feel as though you did exactly what it took in order for you to be successful on tonight? Do you feel as though you did exactly what you were supposed to do in order for you to be dominant like you were supposed to, like everybody's looking at you to do? Because for one, Erickson Lubin was tuning in. And not only Erickson Lubin, but outside of Lubin, that other guys in the division. Like I said, you had guys like Julian J. Rock Williams, who was sitting there talking about possibly having a fight with Justin Deloach. Like, you have big names that's there in the division. You're number 4 in the IBF. And I'm just trying to wonder, what is going to happen next for Justin Deloach. Not saying that the kid is done, because he's far from being done. But, you know, you take those, this is his second loss, and he moving down in the division that is pretty stacked right now at 154 pounds is kind of tough. It is kind of tough. And the fact that it's like that, you know, I just wonder what's going to happen next. Now, is Nathan Gillimore going to get a title shot after this? You know, you had a lot of people saying, well, is Nathan Gillimore going to get a title shot after this? Absolutely not. Nathan Gillimore, what he did, he's moving up in the rankings. He's put on a phenomenal show in the last showings of his five fights. His last 5 fights, I believe he won them all by stoppage, by knockout. And what he did tonight, winning this fight in that fashion, I mean, the kid has it. He has power in both of his hands. And the fact that he has power in both of his hands puts him in a position to be very dangerous in the 154-pound division. And like I said, watching Nathaniel Gillimore on tonight, he's very fun to watch. He's very interesting fighter. Like I said, he lured Deloach in, and Deloach paid for it. He lured him in. Every shot that, or combination that Deloach was throwing, you had Gillimore egging him on, like, hey, come on. Like, you got to be tougher than that. You got to be stronger than that. You need to hit me with more. I'm stronger than you are. Those was like some of the things that he was saying, like, to Deloach, and I think that got under Deloach's skin, and it allowed him to not really be focused as he should have been throughout this fight. And when you're unfocused and you allow someone to get up under your skin like that, that puts you in a bad position every single time. But this fight right here alone was a really good fight. Like I said, the undercard was wonderful. It was some really good boxing on tonight. And not only that, but this whole entire weekend, this has been a phenomenal weekend filled with action-packed boxing. And I'm really looking forward to what we're going to get on next weekend, because we have a guy in Vasyl Lomachenko who will be fighting on ESPN Live, and we really look for Lomachenko to do some very interesting things, because he has a lot riding on his fight with Guillermo Rigondeaux, or perhaps maybe a Mikey Garcia. We don't know as of yet. Definitely we will know who he calls out after his fight with his opponent, who I'm not even going to state his opponent name, because if you're Vasyl Lomachenko, you had an opportunity to do something big, but you gave us this. And it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. You would think he would have took a fight against Orlando Salido, but, you know, Salido's injured right now. That's who Gervonta Davis was going to fight on the undercard of Mayweather versus McGregor. And you have that undercard being released. We will do a live show on that undercard, who will be featured on the undercard, perhaps maybe tomorrow. And things are just going to get better from here. It's going to get better from here. Shouts out to Victor Ortiz on what it is that he did on tonight. Shouts out to Nathan Gillimore, who did a phenomenal job on tonight in winning his fight and continuing to move up in the 154-pound division. Maybe he get a shot at Erickson Lubin. Maybe he get a shot at Julian J. Rod Williams. We don't know. We don't know. It remains to be seen. And also, shout out to Adam Lopez on his victory on tonight. He did a phenomenal job against Ziggy Romero, and that was just a hell of a fight. If you guys tuned in and watched that, that was a great fight. Now, this is Jeremy Sports Network. If you missed this episode that you're listening to live, and if you're catching it on the back end, you can also catch this episode again on Jeremy Sports Network on YouTube, and also if you want to be a part of our live chat when we do talk boxing and different sports, just follow me on Twitter at Jeremy_sports. This has been Jeremy Sports Network coming to you live. Thank you all for tuning in on tonight. Like and share the show. It helps with the visibility of the show, and we're only going to get better from here. This is Jeremy Sports Network. Thank you guys for a wonderful weekend of boxing. Thank all the fighters that have been out there. Oh, and before I leave, we want to keep our thoughts and prayers to Tevin Former, who was shot on last night. He was shot in the hand. I believe it was his left hand, and his brother was shot as well. So we keep both of them in our prayers and hope for a speedy recovery for Tevin Former to get back into the ring, because we love to see Tevin Former fight. He's a great guy, great fighter, has a lot of heart from Philly, and we wish nothing but the best from him. Today is his birthday, so shout out and happy birthday to Tevin Former. We wish you nothing but the best here at Jeremy Sports Network, and we looking forward to what we have coming up in the upcoming week, this week in boxing. So this has been Jeremy Sports Network. I'm signing out. Please follow us on YouTube and Twitter and on Facebook at Jeremy Sports Network. This is Jeremy Sports Network signing out. Peace.